I have a confession, I don't really like playing Sorceress in this game, and not because she is bad or anything, but because this is the only class that feels like I am playing a different game entirely. Playing magic late in Diablo 2 is like using bulldozer to move a football, basically an overkill. Because I would like to test every set's viability in this game, let's start with Iratha's Finery and play a bit of an obscure build, Enchantress. This will be done on hardcore, so no deaths allowed. Let the challenge begins. Rules. Using Iratha's Finery full set as soon as I can until the end of the game, only using Enchantress build for the whole game. I will be using charms and sockets. Run ends with killing Bale on hell difficulty. This is hardcore run, 1 life, no deaths. Iratha's Finery is very curious set, mainly due to the fact that none of its 4 pieces does not occupy body armor or any hand slot. Full set provides massive amount of resistances as well as maximum resistances, and it is sometimes used for Ubers just to boost lightning resistance threshold to not die to Uber Mephisto. Another thing is 24% chance of piercing attack for 3 items piece bonus, which would suggest that this set would be utilized better by either Amazon or Throw Barbarian. And this is exactly where Enchantress comes into the picture and can benefit from it immensely. Since the whole set requires only level 15 and 55 strength to wear, let's start the challenge without further ado. Because Enchantress uses enchant skill as a main source of damage, I cannot really play this build until level 18, so I will get to use the set before I get my main skill. Until then, I will use whatever prerequisite skills that are needed for it and possibly get some bow or crossbow. So off to the Bloodmoor and into the Den of Evil. And what do you know? I found pretty nice Grand Charm in the very beginning. With level 2 I get 1 point in Warmth that increases mana regeneration, and subsequently got Firebolt on level 3. Both are prerequisites for enchant. What? What is with all the charms? They are not bad drops at all. At Burial Grounds I put Bloodraven to rest so I can get some additional help and also Frozen Armor skill for additional layer of defense. With level 6 comes the staple skill, Static Field, capable of destroying bosses in no time. Oh nice! Fanaticism Archers, like Sorceress isn't fragile enough already. Quickly got into Brawl with 3 Yetis and rescued Kane from his tiny apartment. Thanks to the fact that the set does not contain body armor, I can safely get some runes and make a couple of good items, so it's Countess time. First run got me L, Nef and F, so half of the stealth already done. And second run got me Tal. We made a pincushion out of Smith and grabbed the Malus for the quest. I don't like these secret rooms, they never got anything good in them, aside from gold. Level 12 gets me Fireball, which is pretty self-explanatory, and another needed skill for enchant. It is a perfect clearing tool for now, since I do not have suitable source of damage yet. Clear the area to marvel at this beautiful pool, now round around spamming Fireball. Andariel is extra vulnerable to fire, so after a half marathon and some fire throwing, she was dead. For the first time in a while I will not be hiring a spearman, as I want to see how good 2 archers will be with enchant. My god, Sorceress is so squishy, even if I am putting majority of my attributes into vitality. It took a moment before I found Radament's lair, and first I had to actually clear the ad before I can confront him. Combining Static Field with Fireball and normal attacks did the trick, and for my effort I got another skill point. With level 15 and 55 strength it was a time to equip full set and talk about its certain pieces a bit more. So, from the top, Crown gives 40% fire and lightning resistant, and 2 item bonus gives additional defense per level. Amulet gives poison length reduction by 75% and 30% of poison resistance. 2 items bonus gives additional 15 to all resistances. With 2 items equipped, we are getting set bonus of 50 flat defense. Belt gives 25 defense and 5 minimum damage, and 2 item bonus provides 10 dexterity. 3 set bonus gives 20% run walk speed and massive 24% piercing attack chance. Last ones are the gloves, and they give 30 cold resistance and reduce freeze duration by half. 2-item bonus gives amazing 20% attack speed. With full set, aside from previous bonuses, we are also getting 15 to dexterity, 20 to all resistances, and 10% maximum to every resistance. For level 15 and only 55 strength required, this is an amazingly powerful set, not only for the beginning. Having that out of the way, I can venture now to Halls of the Dead. Doors are a perfect way to funnel the enemies and take advantage of piercing attack. You made a quick sweep of the chamber and grab the cube. Maggot Lair for archers is not so annoying as usual. Cosplay a bit as Amazon and just fire at everything that moves, or flies, or stays in place, like that big old worm. And then grab the staff. Oh, Stealth, how I have missed you. Finally, level 18 brings me Enchant. This gives additional fire damage and attack rating. And best thing is that you can also cast it on Mercenary. So first step of the build is complete. Oh yeah, and on the same level you also get this teleport skill. Don't know what that is. With Enchant I am dealing significantly more damage, and I never took this skill seriously as a child. Why bother enchanting a weapon when you can cast meteors? We cleared level 2 of Claw Viper Temple, Scorch Fang Skin and grabbed the amulet. Now quick range contest with the summoner and well, he lost. Even though I am doing good damage, this build without proper weapon lacks area clear. Okay, static field makes every boss fight trivial, so I don't think I will be using it in the further fights. It kind of defeats the purpose of this build, viability. Jade figurine quest is massive for Sorceress. It is basically 2 levels worth of health. Grab the eye from the chest and move on to the greener pastures. For once, traversing jungle doesn't want me to make strangle myself, thanks to teleport. I found a Ral rune, so it is time to make leaf staff. And you might be asking, why create a staff if I am using a bow? That is simple, you can swap weapons and buff with the enchant to have a higher level skill. Although ring that Ormus gave me wasn't bad, it will certainly be useful once I get mana shield. Witch Doctor Endugo is fire immune, but thankfully Alisa is cold. Not literally, but she has frozen arrows. Every chance to grab 3 attributes cannot be skipped, so grabbing Lamb Essence Tome and moving down. Sewers greets me with dolls. Fortunately, frozen armor can freeze the enemies, when my eye isn't fast enough to react to them. Council wasn't keen to die, but I managed to bait Ismail to give me the flail, and then I burst into the temple and shot down the rest of them and opened the way down. Because Hardcore abides by its own rules, you already know I am getting stingy on those here. Teleport around to skip some fighting and then go to the side. So now, Mephisto time. Alisa died on the spot, so most of the fight was left to me. Because static field wouldn't trivialize the fight, I just ran around shooting Mephisto and healing whenever needed. It took around 5 minutes of running, healing, shooting to bring him down. Since enchant gives fire damage and that particular elemental damage isn't great for Act 4, as almost everything here is fire resistant. Thank Irathas for the enormous amount of resistances. I would already be dead to those burning souls if not for this set. Every boss is a tedious encounter now, and Usual is a prime example of it. Tanky as hell, cannot really do much damage to me, but I am basically standing there in his face, firing the bow until he dies. Doors and gates are such MVPs in this run, I cannot overstate it. Teleport at this stage is quite mana hungry, so for now it is mostly used as a repositioning tool, since it is also dragging my Merc along with me. In River of Flame, Hephaestus spawned with Might Aura, and I am not taking any chance for him to hit me. This madman hits like every hit would be his last. Forge absolutely bamboozled me and dropped the lowest possible rune, L. Catch me if you can. Venom Lords are major pain in the ass with this build. But this is not a race, so I can prevail. Clearing this place started with Grand Vizier, and it was a bit slow as he is a fire immune. Lord Deceased focused on Alisa, so I wasn't threatened by him. Just before Infector I hit level 24, Thus energy shield is available, and with that another layer of defense. It uses mana pool to absorb damage, so it is actually valid to invest in energy stat. That fight was brutal. Venom Lords were fast and dealing a lot of damage. I had to single out every single one of them before killing Infector. Diablo took forever, especially that Aliza kept constantly dying and also my shots were not landing. No. Oh, Aliza, how can you just casually walk through the ray of death? Finally, 15 minutes later, the devil was killed. I really need a better weapon, preferably unique with explosive arrows. But first things first, Shank and Eldritch. No idea how I am hitting those gates with these thin arrows and actually doing a meaningful damage. Nevertheless, give me those runes. I'm not gonna take it. I'm not going to take it anymore. With Anya rescued and scroll read, my resistances now looks insane. I did a Zephyr rune ward in a stack bow I found and gave it to Aliza. Although it isn't super powerful, it is fast and it will utilize enchant much better. AI on Rogue Mercenary is terrible. She's just wandering here and there half of the time. I really need someone else. Nil attack was actually a major pain. I am shooting slow and doing little damage, and Aliza is not really interested in killing him half of the time. Ancients were also tough, not only because of their health pool, but their ability to close the gap. They killed my Aliza way too early into the fight, so I had to run around shooting one arrow at a time until I finally get them all. First time in a long while, Worldstone Keep was actually quite surprisingly pleasant place to be. I spoke too soon. My god, even here, angry axe cows are just plague of this world. If Colenza was such a struggle to deal with, I cannot imagine Bale himself, or even further waves. You remember how awful Infector of Souls was? Yeah, here is Ventor, he is even worse. Minions of Destruction takes the crown, however. Not able to hit them, doing minuscule damage and them being annoying as hell with knockback and stun. I have no idea how long Bale fight took. He kept killing Aliza, who is dealing damage way better than me, so visits to town were frequent. Of course he wouldn't be himself if he didn't clone every time he could. Eventually we managed to drop him down, but my god, I need upgrades. My setup for the end of normal. I did a couple of Mephisto runs since I need better weapon, and I got Witherstring bow. Although the bow itself isn't the best, it is very fast, and that's what all about in elemental damage. My god, why am I putting myself through this suffering? Subscribe now to see me squirming in pain for a couple more minutes. Oh hell yeah! One of the monsters dropped unique heavy crossbow, Hellcast, and with that I hope that this run can be actually completed. Level 30 gets me Fire Mastery, which increases all fire damage done, and enough strength to get the crossbow. Boom! 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 Haha! Fear me! Explosive arrows from the crossbow actually applies damage from the enchant, thus making this a perfect combination. Just look at this beautiful perfect stones activation pattern. Fire Devil came back, boys. Deckard, get out of here. It's time to visit the Countess, repeatedly. I really need some rune wards as I am super squishy and also need some sort of a front line. Klaatu, you're hired. You will take all the damage now. Oh god, this is so much better. He's like, guys, I'm here. And there is already an arrow spike with C4 going their way. Now this is basically cosplaying as Junkrat from Overwatch, constantly throwing grenades and exploding the screen. Say hello to my not so little friend. Andariel is still very much allergic to fire, this time even more so. I did her multiple times, not that came out wrong, and on one of the runs she actually dropped me a beauty. A unique serpent skin armor, Skin of Viper Magi. Now this run really begins. Good weapon, at least for now, great armor and set is still solid. So Radamant got blasted out of existence. Teleport makes Maggot learn basically a joke. Just need to be careful not to end up in the group of monsters. Somebody call for Exterminator. Hellcast's exploding arrows, together with piercing from Iratha's set, is just setting the world on fire. Guess who's back, boys? It's me, your worst nightmare. I just realized that Fire Eye unique is the same name as the boss from WoW, Mordresh Fire Eye from Razor from Downs. Or maybe other way around? Surprise, motherfucker! Shotgun everybody in Talrasha's tomb before moving on to fight Duriel. Klaatu held him amazingly well, and he was just taking dynamite after dynamite from me until he fell. In the end he dropped unique death mask, Blackhorn's face. In the meantime I upgraded my belt with Tal Shale and Perfect Diamond and reallocated my stats a bit to wear it. Since I am still incredibly squishy, I am getting that magic potion from creepy old guy in exchange for Golden Bird. Oh, you already know I am getting gloams in every hardcore run. I had so much fun teleporting around and setting everything on fire, I actually forgot to pick up half of Kalim from the jungle. Ormus, what the hell is this ring? Oh, it's Dread Horl. Never mind. So I grabbed this dude's eye from spiders and his brain from tiny jungle dudes. Yoink! Now give me the heart, boys. Die, 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 my darlings. You will not be missed. What did I say? What did I say? Although this build isn't great for killing bosses, so far at least, Mephisto didn't stand much chance against me and my barbarian. Apparently Sif Maul the Hunter has 3 mouths and he breathes fire in 180 degrees, making my life totally miserable. Doom Knights are fire immune already. Because of that, dealing with Isuel was just running around and hurting him with the explosions until he died. No way. No freaking way. I know I was saying game is trying to kill me at every turn, but it gave me Hellcast crossbow, and now it gave me something even better. Kuku Shakaku Cedar Bow. This is possibly second best weapon for this build. Oh, can you hear that, demons? I am the one who knocks. With 24% piercing from Iratha's set and 50% from the bow, I am basically cascading fireballs now and rolling through Nightmare like I don't care. I wasn't gonna let Hephasto touch me, so a bit of harassment on my part and Hawkeye my way out of this. Forge gave me an amazing arm rune. My god, I am having so much fun with this weapon. Sorceress, how did you find a way to win over my heart? Go, Klaatu, go! You're my only way to deal with those whims. In the meantime, nice present drop. This martial arts killer. So on to clearing seals right now. I exploded minions of Grand Vizier, while my barb dealt with the guy himself. Then I sniped Lord Disease, but Infector was still a pain in the ass, and somehow he went after us, traversing half of the sanctuary. Diablo wasn't much of an issue at this point. Thanks to my damage and enormous amount of resistances, he was not really able to threaten me. It just took some time to take him down, and he got me a Goblin Toe Boots. I am destruction itself, a messenger of death ripping souls with fire and brimstone. A little jailbreak is in order. Fly, my majestic barbarians, fly! Now to unfreeze the frozen river and get another boost to my resistances. Anya seems to have a similar sense of humor to Ormus, or I am just that rotten. Oh, Dorman, please step aside. Let me help you with exploding those minions for you. Man, I am blazing through this difficulty, doing absolutely every quest. I am the human embodiment of River Drop from StarCraft, teleporting on top of enemies and blowing everything up. Ancients time. I dealt with Modok and Talik quite easily, but Korlik seems to be fire resistant. Thus, I need my Merc to stay alive to kill him. Round 2. I split all 3 of them and killed Modok first. then Talik was on the line, and Korlik was super annoying as he wasn't interested in hitting my mercenary, so I just face tanked him while shooting arrows point blank. First time in a long while I feel like I am the hunter in this place. Am I an Arnie from Predator? Well, that never happened to me. There were no ads in Bale Room, so waves started immediately. Every wave was utterly destroyed. Except of course Venta, he's just the worst. I spoke way too soon. Minions of Destructions were way worse. I had to get Goblin Toe for some crushing blow to kill them. Bale was incredibly annoying and also a major threat, since half of my health comes from mana and he was constantly burning it. Fortunately, teleporting around and shooting simply works wonders. My gear and setup for the end of Nightmare. Although my gear isn't the worst, I cannot imagine dealing with fire immunities unless I get my merc some better gear. But sadly, only thing I found at this point was a Crown of Thieves helmet. Nightmare wasn't providing what I needed, so I had to switch to Hell eventually. As much as I like this build, fire damage is kind of the worst. Whole Den of Evil is infested with fallen that are fire immune, so Klaatu is doing 90% of the job here. This is true hell. Half of the mobs are invincible and my merc just cannot deal with all of them. I just could skip straight to Andariel, but I want gear. I want upgrades. This is gonna take a while. Pain. This is so painful. Fire immunes everywhere, with no upgrades in sight. I completely forgot to free Deckard, as previously I basically ran from Scary Spearman right into the Black Marsh. Bit of teleporting around not to die and Elder is back in the camp. Now back to Monastery and quickly getting back to Andariel. Of course, every single mob around is basically a fireman and cannot be killed by my arrows. Yet Spider Queen didn't get that memo and died with just a couple of arrows to the face and dropped absolutely nothing of value. Turns out I am extremely poor, so I farmed again. Got a couple of very good drops, mainly Fall and Vex Rune, which I will use for absolutely nothing. I also found a free open socket helmet and made a bulwark for my mercenary. So I gathered some loot and lots of gold, and also did a socket my helmet with Amrune for additional resistances. Klaatu refuses to die, yet he still does so little damage with his weapons. Yay! Radaman spawned as fire enchanted, so my attacks were tickling him. Fortunately, Az just focused on my merc, so I could just shoot in peace. When monsters are anything but fire resistance, I am their worst nightmare, mowing them down with those exploding arrows. Exterminator is in. Maggots, eat my fire arrows. I love how you can shoot an arrow down the tunnel and it lights the whole space up. While going through the Claw Viper temple, I found a summoning skiller charm for Necromancer in one of the urns.
Thanks.
Hi boys, I'm just here for the amulet. I really like that. I can just skip Arcane Sanctuary, but sometimes there are monsters just like this. And man, that hurts. But hey, summoner on first try. And this ring is not bad. 19 strength? Holy. I have always liked Canyon of the Magi. As a kid, when I was playing this game, it was a spot to farm before Duriel, and there does not seem to be fire immunes here. Also, in my set only Druid challenge, I actually found a GG set Ogre Maul here. Maybe it is worth to stay here for a moment. Sadly, no luck this time. Although this unique bow might seem like a better weapon than Kuku Shakaku, it is actually not for Enchantress, since damage from enchant is also applied to the explosions from the arrows. Entire Duriel fight looked like this. Klaatu just withstanding all the damage and I was just firing at will. Nothing to see here. Another difficulty, another Jade figurine and boost to life. Come here, Spidey, Spidey. I got something for you. Ha! Beat it, sucker. Kind of a crazy drop happened while I was leaving Spider's Forest. Unique Elder Staff, which is Ondal's Wisdom, one of only 2 items in the game that provides bonus experience gain. Also, random chest in Flair's dungeon got me a Lamb rune. I could do a smoke rune ward if I actually had a base for it. In Ruined Temple I really had trouble with the spiders. Cannot kill them and their poison is a bane of my existence. Eventually I managed to lead them astray and grab the book. Not much to say about the sewers aside from the fact that I got dolls. Council was hell-bent on destroying me and were only spawning as fire immunes. So I got Klaatu a strength sword and for me I got Goblin Toe and went hunting. Even with that, downing even one member took some sizable effort. I didn't bother to kill all of them, just baited enough outside to break the orb and go into Durance. Mephisto took 2 trips to town to revive my tank and lots of arrows, but 5 itself was rather straightforward and free of danger. Venom Lords this time around fully embraced fire as their ally and are complete roadblock in half of the fights, and although I can avoid them for now, this will be problematic in a couple of minutes. I travel through the plains to find Despair itself. All the monsters are invulnerable to my damage, and as hunt for Issual was a delicate dance of shooting and teleporting around. Hephasto was really underestimated by me in all those years of playing. He is a freaking menace. To my surprise, he didn't spawn as a lightning immune, as in all my previous runs. Hellforge gave me another Lamb rune. 3 Lamb runes and still no bases. As I was saying before, the moment I dreaded the most. Chaos Sanctuary, or in simpler terms, fire immunes everywhere. A complete roadblock that I cannot deal with right now. So I resorted to farming different areas in order to get swords and body armor bases. I found a 3-socket ornate plate in which I could do duress if I didn't use the rune already, and since I don't have a Lamb rune, I guess it leaves me with hustle. What? I never found a Cow rune? Okay then. 4th Lamb rune, so 3 of those and float amethyst, and I got my Cow. I also found Face Blade with 2 open sockets and did another strength, purely for that crushing blow, and also a hustle armor. Let's test this setup. Oh man, he is going for it. One-on-ones are not the issue, but this might take a while to clear this place. Thanks to attack speed from hustle and crushing blow from both strength swords, Klaatu is making good progress of ridding the world of demon scum. Somehow killing Grand Vizier was the easiest part of this place so far. To not die miserably, I had to snipe Lord Disease and leave his minions unscathed. Yet again, Infector proved to be absolutely worst, spawned with Might Aura on top of that, dealing enormous amount of damage. Once all 3 were dealt with, it was Diablo time, and well, it was really easy. He was dealing little to no damage, taking beating like there is no tomorrow, and was killed as quickly as he spawned. Final stretch. Let us rush to Ancients and get completely stuck on some stupid modifiers. Of course, I wouldn't be myself if I skip Shank and Eldritch, and actually, I am going to use Socket Quest to add Shale Rune to my bow, since I do not have any minus to fire resistance jewels. I really wanted to finish this challenge by now, so I engage in as little fighting as I can on the road to the summit. Because I cannot kill Talik on my own, I cannot have one of them spawned with Cursed, as I need to keep Klaatu alive. We managed to teach Madok a lesson, but then Talik was extra strong and cold enchanted, so he mowed down Klaatu like there is no tomorrow. Thanks to Crushing Blow, my pet barbarians sent Talik back to stone this time around. Korlik and Madak were inseparable for some time, but nothing can stand against the might of Teleport. Couple of seconds later, Madak was already giving his last breath. Entire Korlik fight looked like this. Him jumping on me taking few steps and shooting again and again, until he dropped dead. No matter how much I want to complete this challenge, it is extremely easy to die in Worldstone Keep if you teleport recklessly. Caution is in order, especially at the finish line. I managed to get into Throne of Destruction, and again, I am broke, so cannot really afford to get my Merc whenever I want, so maybe I can get through this place alone. Nope, Fire Immune, Axe Cows and Assailants. All Bale waves until Ventar were really easy. As for the Venom Lords, we had to use divide and conquer strategy. Right after we dealt with those came Minions of Destruction, and when I saw that they are fire immune, I lost it. I didn't even bother to clear them, just lead them out of the room, leading them wondering what happened. Bale is dangerous, very dangerous for me. He's distracting my mercenary with tentacles, burning my mana and dealing all around a lot of damage. He's summoning his clone, being constant threat, so I had to visit town a couple of times to restock potions and wait for his mirror image to despawn. Also, I ran out of funds in the middle of the fight and had to do quick sweep of couple of areas just to get gold. I was very cautious in this fight. One false move and I can die instantly, if not to Bale then to his appendages, that are dealing sizable amount of damage. Finally, after 10 minutes of back and forth, we managed to strike him down, and with that, complete the challenge, even if I was basically a glorified bystander here and Klaatu did the heavy lifting, my setup at the end. This was extremely difficult challenge, yet it was still very fun run, and I am really surprised that I got to complete it without death, as I had multiple near-death experiences in this one. I got really lucky with Hellcast and later with Kukushakaku drops in Nightmare that launched this build into Stratosphere in terms of clear speed and damage. Without those, I would not be able to push any further at all. Main problem was really the fact this build mainly relies on fire damage, and I couldn't get any minus to enemy fire resistance, making fire immune monsters a real task for my mercenary. Iratha's Finery set proved from the very beginning that it is all around amazing and viable through the entire playthrough. Massive amount of resistances, max resistances and piercing chance, while not being constrained to any weapon is just such a great benefit. I urge you to try this one on your own. Sorceress is very powerful, but it is much harder to play in hardcore due to extreme squishiness. Thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for more games, challenges and runs. Like and subscribe if you like it and check out my other videos. Challenger departs.